I'm Kyra Vidas reporting from Hallis Hall. The Foresters finished Saturday's game off with a victory, bringing them to 6-1. I'm here with Coach Cat to recap on Saturday's conference play. Defense stepped up this week. Was there anything different you did this week rather than last week?
I think it was just our guys executed a little bit better. The week before, we had tried to really stress one-on-one battles, and maybe we put our guys in a little too much space to control those situations. I think this week we were able to, address that same one-on-one battle victory, but doing it with a little bit more support from our teammates in those cases where it was a stalemate. Whereas the week before, if there's a stalemate, we weren't really in a position to make a play. So schematically, we made some tweaks, but really it was the execution by our players that really stood out. And it was a great game for our guys to come out and be that aggressive. And I think that was the most, probably the most important thing. They were aggressive in their execution instead of being aggressive and taking themselves out of their responsibility.
And there was a significant change in Jordan Cruz's performance from last week to this week. Was his role different?
Not significantly, but we did try to keep Jordan around the middle of the formation more this week, and he did a great job with that, but he was even better in space. I think he was just more cognizant of some of the errors he had made the week before. Being a senior, he can see that on film. He doesn't even necessarily need me to point that out. And by that, he grew this week because he just continued to improve upon the things we were working on in practice.
And now switching over to the offense, quarterback Mike Lewis had some nice runs. Were those design plays?
Some of them are, some of them aren't. They are more of a option for him to make his decision. He gets to decide whether he's going to run, throw, or hand it off. And he started to make some decisions that were very appropriate, but maybe instead of that humbleness that he has to give the ball to somebody else or want to make that decision, he took the ball and really surprised our opponents with that a couple of times for big plays and big gains. And I think that the first run that he had, the 48-yarder, was something that really set the tone for our team and our offense for the rest of the day. We were just able to continually build upon as we moved forward.
And do you think letting him run the ball is getting him more comfortable running the offense?
I think what it does is it loosens up the defense. They now have to respect both aspects of the run game, which then allows some of the passing lanes to open up a little bit more, because now those overhang players, the corners, and the outside linebackers, they have to respect both parts of the game. And before they would see it, if they didn't see the tailback get the ball, they would just drop off into their pass coverage a little bit faster. By him continuing to be a running threat, now they can't do that.
And now freshman running back Charlie Quinn had a lot for your offense, 94 yards and a touchdown. Do you see his role becoming a big part in your offense in the future?
Yeah. I mean, that's why we recruited him from Arizona. We always tell guys we're not going to bring him from a long distance if we don't think that they can help us. And he's had a chance this year due to some injuries to get probably a little bit more playing time as a freshman than maybe we would have anticipated. But he's taking advantage of those opportunities and having success. And if he can continue to have that kind of success, he'll continue to get touches without any question. But again, he was a guy who had a nice big run play early in the game, and I think that kind of got him rolling a little bit more. And again, that threat of Mike running the football now takes a defender or two's attention to Mike, and that takes a bigger running lane for Charlie now because those guys aren't focused on him.
Okay, and now you're off to Iowa this weekend to play Cornell College. They have improved, so what are the keys to this next week's game?
A couple of things are we've got to look at their offense and be very well prepared for what they do. They have one of the most prolific quarterbacks in their school's history. He's the all-time leading passer at their school. And he's completed about 70% of his passes right now on the season, which is an extremely high number. So he's a very good player. We got a chance to see him last year. Has a great set of receivers to throw the ball to. They were one of the few teams to have a 100-yard receiver against us last season. And so those guys have only gotten better. On the defensive side, they're fast, they're aggressive, they're extremely intelligent on that side of the ball. So we're going to have another high execution game on both sides of the football for us to have success. We've seen them go and they've played some of the top teams in the conference, top traditional teams in the conference, and they've had success. They've beaten them. So we've got to be ready for that. It's going to be a great game. It's two very contrasting styles. They're going to put the ball out on the perimeter a little bit more. We kind of tend to stay between the tackles. I think it'll be fun. It'll be a great game. It'll be a challenge for our guys. It'll be a challenge for them. It was a 5-point game a year ago, so it was a very, very tough game. And it's one of those things where I'm looking forward to seeing it.
Okay, great. Well, thank you, and good luck next weekend.
No problem. Thank you.